Robot Damashii Gundam Age-1 Sparrow. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk, and today I'm not bringing you a review of Gundam plastic model, but instead a toy from the Robot Damashii line, side MS. It's the Gundam Age-1 Sparrow, or Spallow. Robot Damashii number 112, you can see the model number down there. 1S, the Spallow there, with the same spelling as the American Sparrow missile, from the Robot Spirit side mobile suit. 3,000 yen for the MSRP, but you can get this and lots more great Gundam plastic models, toys, and more for even cheaper at HobbyLink Japan. Links down below. The Sparrow, of course, is from the first generation of Gundam Age, where Flit Asuno started out in the Age-1 normal before bulking up to the Titus, and then getting speed in the Sparrow for the end of the first generation finale. You can also pick this kit up in Advanced Grade, High Grade, and in Master Grade as well. And for a start of the box tour, always love looking at the sides of Robot Damashiis, especially on shelves there, as you get that nice side shot of the MS that you find contained within. But it's to the back of the box where you're going to notice from the simple stylings here that this is not going to be a heavily armed Gundam. In fact, he's only going to have a few weapons, which are going to be nicely included here, but the focus is going to be on the cool ninja-like and speed poses that this guy is going to be able to pull off. And so it's inside the box we go, where you're going to be getting the clear bubble package here, a manual there on the inside with the weapons and swappable accessories. And here he is out of the box, where you can see that there's going to be two versions of the Shigo blade up there, or the Shiguru, however you want to call it there, to go along with the forearm thrusters, which are going to be swappable. 4 additional hands there, in addition to the 2 fists that are already going to be attached on. And you've got a Robot Damashii base connector. And out of the box and barely posed, this guy is supposed to come across, and they advertise it around the box, as being smart looking, and I can't help but agree. Overall, the colors I think are going to be very good there. He's got all the right paint apps down on the feet and on the ankles there. The blue parts are going to look good, and the upper body is going to have that familiar nice tricolor color scheme to it. And otherwise, the nice little details here, like the blue on the white there, everything about this guy is looking pretty sharp from a distance. And when you get up close, even though the shoulders are going to look perhaps a little bit awkward, I'm sure it's going to lead to some very cool posing. You can see that the age symbol is going to look sharp on the chest. Nice yellow paint apps there for the vent. It looks like, though, that the lining on the face is just a little bit circumspect. It's the kind of thing that if you've got a $2 lining marker around, you could always go and touch that up if you so chose. To articulation now, where you can see that this guy's going to have a lot of great Robot Damashii tricks built into him. First of all, independent moving skirts there. They're not going to move up all that much, but they're definitely going to get out of the way. So you can kick the leg all the way forward if you wanted to. Side skirts will go up like that. And can you do full poses or full splits? No, not so much. However, if you take a look on the inside there, this hip joint is going to allow the hips to move up and down there. Sort of interesting the way that's going to work. And otherwise, it's just a ball joint, so it looks like you're going to have to be a little bit careful. You can see some paint tabs that are going to be put on there. And for the bend at the knee, first of all, the needle guns are always going to look good. Funny to see skinny ankles and a lot thicker higher up. But when you bend the knee, you can see that it's going to be moving that gray part there in the back. And it's going to bring down the blue armor, and I'm just going to say that that looks pretty sharp, as opposed to either having this stay up or go down below. And then if you want to deploy the needle guns, you can do that just by bending them out here. So the needle guns can be deployed whether it's straight up or down. You're not going to have to go and try to do little tricks like you do with the high grade. For the ankles themselves, they're going to be able to rotate very, very well, a full 180 there, and the toes are going to bend down like this. The rear skirts are not going to be moving very much here, and for the waist, you're able to rotate it around this much, but not much more than that, it looks like. Maybe if you... no, it's not going to go any further there. You do have another bend up there, so you can have the body go off to the side, and no problem actually staying there. And as well, you can rock it forward and back quite a bit if you want to take a look at this. You can just see that's a huge range of movement, and it's just going to set up for some cool stuff, I'm sure. It's the shoulders, though, that are going to be most interesting, I think. First of all, you've got this blue part here, which is going to move. You've got to be a little bit careful, or you'll just pop that white part off, it looks like there. But the shoulders themselves are going to move in, back and forth about this much, and up and down, so you can move them up like this. The arm will come up like this, without the white part being in the way. And with it pop back on, you can see that it's going to go under the blue part there, if you do this right when you go up for the full extension. For the elbows themselves, you can see it's going to bend like this, 90 degrees. So you're getting pretty much a full 180 there. These parts do not move. They're going to be swappable, And down here you can see that the manipulators are going to rotate around and move up and down that much. And the head itself, you can see here, is going to be on a single moving point, but it can go fairly well forward and back, as well as rotating all the way. Size comparison, here is the Robot Damashii on the left compared to the high grade there on the right, and you can just get that smart feel for this guy. He definitely looks skinnier in every aspect there. You can see it especially in the chest area, compared to this one for the high grade that was used for both the Titus and the Age-1 here. He's just going to have a lot skinnier parts everywhere, including down in the ankles, but the color apps are all going to be there. I'm very impressed with the needle guns on this guy compared to the high grade so far. But what about that head sculpt? Would you give the edge to one over the other? And here he is next to the advanced grade, which is going to have a lot of missing color apps there, even though the chest without a seal there is still going to look pretty good in terms of the number of plastic parts in there, and he's only going to have an all-white butter knife. But back to the Robot Damashii line here, you can see the Gundam F91 from the movie over here. Late Universal Century kits definitely got smaller, and this guy's got a definite height disadvantage here. But in terms of the overall bulk, you can just see that the F91, even as especially he's going to have those shoulder extensions in there, is going to be an absolute beast in terms of width when you compare it to this skinny fellow over here. But if you want to talk height here, even without the fin funnels on, the Robot Damashii Neo Gundam is going to be a fair bit taller, as he should be, not to mention a little bit more regal there with 4 fins up on his head. Weapons now, check out the Shiguru blades here. They're looking very, very sharp, as they're going to be giving you in both the regular form there on the left, and then the angry lit up one over here on the right. And in terms of the hands of the manipulators, you're going to have custom holders here. As you can see, they'll just fit in nicely. With the manipulators here just popping off the side, the only thing is it's a little bit tricky, as they are going to be rotating around all under you, so you might want to get in there with a modeler's knife. And for ground posing there, the blade is going to fit into the hand no problem whatsoever, and this guy's smart, definitely the right word for him. The ankles, you can see, are going to have fantastic posability, flat feet pretty much no matter what angle you put him at, and just that overall cool and very stylish look. Looks good, especially or even on the ground. With even silly seeming poses there, you can notice that the ankles are going to be locked over top of each other. High grade models cannot come even close to pulling this kind of thing off, and whatever you want to do with that upper body, it's definitely going to look pretty stylish. And with the 2-finger point hands on there, this manipulator set is definitely going to be a big plus. Looks good on the master grade, looks maybe even better over here. And this is just to show you the ridiculous extent that you can twist those arms over, and the blade is always going to look good. He is definitely JoJo manga inspired, it seems. But this guy is made to get up in the air here, as you can see that the toes are going to be pointing with the Robot Damashii base and the custom attachment there. How do you like that? A face full of knee needle. And then from the forearms, you can swap these parts off for these ones, as the legs are going to look good no matter where you place them here. You've got no problem at all taking the blade and putting it backwards in the hand, no matter which version you want to go with it here. The thruster veins, especially when you've got that one arm forward, are definitely going to be pronounced, but overall he's just got a cool, slick, stylish feel to him. No matter where you put him, especially up in the air, he is going to look angular and cool because of it. With another plus that you can store the blade here in the back. This is just going to pop down and fit nicely around the green part, and I suppose that, as non-canon as 2 blades is, this is something that Dezel definitely never wants to see in real life. I mean, what he saw was already bad enough. And some final thoughts now. This kit, despite its seeming simplicity, when you take a look at the back of the box and you see 2 poses, and the only weapon being is that he's going to come with 2 blades, I've got to say that this kit is just a ton of fun, actually. And by kit, I mean toy. When you want to go for, in terms of just the play options, the thrusters pretty much I think you'd always want to put that good set on instead of this plain set here. You've got the ability to use the 2 blades, so you're not really going to notice how different they are. I'd say that the turned on one is going to look better than the plain one, but you do have the weapon option in the back. I'm a huge fan there of the needle guns and the way that you can deploy them, whether the leg is straight or in an interesting bend. And the manipulators, even though they're only going to give you 6, they're definitely the right 6 for it. You've got a weapon holding one for either hand and the 2-finger point, which is all important for this guy. But most importantly, just with this kind of posability and the overall stylish nature that he was built for, no matter what you do with him, he's going to look great, and it's the kind of thing that the first thing you'd want to do when you pick this guy up is get an aerial base like this one so that you can get them up in the air and really appreciate it. And it's the kind of thing that it makes me want to enjoy even more Robot Damashii Age-1's. This one definitely tops. And when you compare it to the high grade, there's really no comparison what you can do with these. This is rock solid. This is very good, but it's solid. This one is dynamic, angular, cool, and very, very stylish. Definitely got the edge in my book. But that's just me, so let me know your opinion with a thought down below, and as always, stick around for lots more. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Yes, who says people want realism in their manga and anime?